Hello! Hi, it's Julia Mazur with Simply She Stamps, and it's time for a lunch and learn. Maybe you're joining me live during your lunch break, or you're watching on the replay. I am going to make this cute little card, which was one of the cards featured in Stampin' Up's online World Card Making Day event last Saturday. And we're going to be making this card at Card Making Day this Saturday, if you're in the area in Wakanda, Illinois, at JJ Twigs in the party room. So come anytime between 11:30 and 2, and you can make this card or all three of the cards that were featured last week. I'm going to show you how to use blending brushes because that was one of the tools that was used to make this cute little card. We are using the Warm Welcome stamp set, and there are coordinating dies, and that's how we get the cute little door. So let's get started real quick. I have a piece of basic white cardstock there, and I have my big door stamp on my acrylic block already. I'm taking my mint macaron ink pad, and I'm just going to ink it up. Sometimes with large stamps like these on the large blocks, you can flip them over and put them on your desk, and there's little grooves on the ink pad, and you can ink up your large stamp that way. If you do it this way, you can ensure that all spots on that large stamp are inked up. Okay, and this is a photopolymer stamp, so it's clear, and it actually doesn't really matter where I stamp it on this cardstock because we're actually going to cut it out. All right, there we go. Beautiful little door there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our blending brush with our mint macaron, and these are beautiful brushes. They come in a set of 3. Here's the item number, 153611. They have white bristles, and they are washable. I don't have, 48 colors. I just have a few of these, and you can wash them. I kind of keep them in the same color family, greens, blues, yellows, that kind of thing. So before we cut out our door here, we are going to add some color. And I'm going to start off my cardstock to kind of get off any harsh splotches of ink, and I'm just going to rub it over my cardstock, over the door, to get some soft shading. Now, if you want to pick up the ink and you want to really be able to control the pressure, you put your fingers on this part, and your hand is on the handle, like the back of your hand. Not the back of your hand, like the inside of your hand there, and you get nice control. I kind of put my fingers back on the handle when we're at burnishing, so you don't put too much pressure, but to pick up the color, it's nice to kind of put your fingers up there by the head of the blending brush. And you can add as much or as little ink as you'd like. You can just keep adding it on. So it's a nice, subtle sponging. If you were a stamper many years ago and we used to sponge everything, I prefer the blending brushes. I think you get a nicer effect. I have fresh freesia here, and I'm going to pink up ink again with my blending brush, and I'm going to add some more color here at the bottom of the door. And it's okay if you kind of overlap. So see here, I have kind of a big splotchy. That's why we start blending off the paper. I'm going to turn it this way. A little more control for me. Okay. All right, so there is our shaded door. And now I'm going to cut it out with the dies. I'm going to use my mini cut and emboss right here. And what's nice is that the door does fit through the mini, so I don't have to use my large cut and emboss. I can just use my smaller one here. And there are 2 parts to this. This part is going to cut out the whole door. I think I might do this. I'm going to flip this up. I'm going to put that right there. That's the outline of the door. There we go. I want to make sure I get the right spot. And then this is the inside of the door. And you can run these both through at the same time. So this rectangle is cutting out the inside and the other one is cutting out the door. And I'm going to take my little sticky notes here to keep those dies down. Grab this off, open that up, and I have my little sandwich here. I probably should have put my post-it notes or my sticky notes a little closer in, but they'll kind of bend. All right, and I'm going to feed this through. It's gonna crackle, that's okay. That's just doing its job. All right. And now we have our door cut out. Oh, they're sticky. All right. There we go. Now our door is cut out. Okay, so I have a piece of fresh freezer cardstock. It is 7 by 5, and I scored it at 3.5. So it's going to make a nice little note card. I'm going to take my bone folder here to make a nice crisp crease. Okay. Then I'm going to build up my card. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is, actually, I wanted to tuck those through. I'm going to put some glue dots on here, and I have my roll of glue dots right here. I'm actually going to take my paper snips and kind of pick them up and put them in the corners. You could stick your paper right on the glue dot. I like taking them off and putting them right where I want. Sometimes they're so sticky that they pull on the cardstock, and like with this, it's so delicate that I didn't want it to pull up and kind of bend the cardstock, so that's why I'm doing it this way. All right, so I'm going to put this on the layer, and isn't that nice, the blending, that you get a nice colored door. Now I've stamped the little hands with tea, with mugs, in Memento ink, nice black, tuxedo black Memento ink, and I'm using watercolor pencils and to color those. Let's see, I'm starting with Bermuda Bay, and I'm going to use a very light touch because I can always add more and I just don't want harsh lines. I'm gonna add a little more pressure down here just to add some dimension. Okay, now Rich Raspberry for the other arm. And again, a very light touch. If you wanted to, you could add, kind of blend these together using the blender pen. I'm just going to use the pencils like they did on Saturday at the online World Card Making Day event. And I'm going to use the Rich Raspberry to color that little tea bag. Do much better when I have my glasses on. The original one I didn't have my glasses. Okay, so this is Early Espresso, and I'm going to color our hands. Again, I'm using a light touch to begin with. And then I'm going to apply a little bit more pressure just to make that skin tone a little bit darker. And I'm going to apply a little bit more pressure down at the bottom just to get a darker, so it looks like the light is coming up from above. And then the second hand, a light touch to color in that hand. I'm not applying as much pressure as the other hand. There we go. And I'm going to cut this little guy out. Taking my mini cut and emboss again. And I didn't have one pre-cut, so we're going to do this quickly. Good thing I have my dies sitting right here. All right, and now you can see I'm going to line these up. Hopefully, the magic of TV, it's going to line up just right. Put the other sandwich on, the cutting plate, and run this through. All right. Oh, So there's our cute little arms. All right, I did pretty good being at this awkward angle. Okay, so to build this up, I'm going to use Stampin' Dimensionals on the back of this. I'm going to put them in the corners, and I'm going to put a couple in the middle there, and maybe a couple more. Just because it is a large layer there. All right, peel those off. Hopefully those backings make it into the garbage. Sometimes I have confetti on my stamp room floor here. Okay, so I am adding that to the Fresh Freezer card base. I'm going to use the glue dots again to put on the little hands. And like I was saying before, you can just press your paper onto the glue dot strip to get the glue dot on there, but I prefer to pick them up and put them on where I'd like. And sometimes you can bend them to fit. All right, so I'm going to sneak these little arms behind the door best I can. Oh my goodness. I tried sticking them to the door before I put the door on, but I was having better luck going like this. Okay, so there's our cute little arms, and I have a little heart, another little glue dot on there. I'm going to smush it kind of in half because that glue dot's kind of big for that whole heart. You could also use liquid glue. That works really well for little pieces like that. And I stamped the sentiment in the tuxedo black ink, and I'm just going to make a cute little banner. I'm going to aim for the middle from the side and meet up. We used to have a cute little punch that would get these, and I loved it because they were even always, and I try my best to get them even this way. Okay, I'm going to use Stampin' Dimensionals to pop that up, and the part that I'm going to use are this edges here. So these are kind of like half the dimensionals. Let's make sure you can see that. After you're done with all the honeycomb parts, you're left over with the edges, and they are still good. So make sure you use them. I'm going to just cut that one in half on the end there. And I'm going to put it towards this side because I'm going to put a bow behind that, so I don't want my dimensional to be in the way. There we go. There goes our sentiment right there. I have some linen thread, and sometimes it is really curly. You can just run your finger like that, kind of like with curling ribbon, but it's going to be the opposite effect. And make a cute little bow. I love linen thread. I've been using a lot of linen thread lately. It just quick and easy, adds a nice touch. Trim that and hold the, and then I'm going to use another glue dot, kind of mush it together and put it on the knot of my bow. And I'm going to kind of shimmy it under the sentiment there. That's why I wanted to make sure I didn't have a dimensional. And these cute iridescent pearls, I just got these. They were a free gift when you ordered one of these bundles for World Card Making Day, and they're just so beautiful. So I'm going to grab one of those and put that on the doorknob. And there is our cute little card. So if you'd like to make this card, you can come on by this Saturday, 11:30 to 2. It's like an open house style, so you can come anytime. It's over at JJ Twigs in Wakanda, Illinois. You can also contact me for more information, or you can find me at Simply She Stamps on Facebook and Instagram. And I just wanted to remind you about the blending brushes. They come in a set of 3. This is the item number if you're interested in that. And I hope that I get to stamp with you someday soon. Thanks for joining me for Lunch and Learn. Have a great day. Bye-bye.